this week's episode of The Enthusiast, the Mo is back and our original George Wilson Gold Key Phantom art is going to auction and heaps more in this week's episode of The Enthusiast. The best Phantom podcast for Phantom fans. The quick fire news segment. Few publications are going to be releasing the Phantom issue number 1965 press service this Thursday. This Thursday, in Australia, there's a new Phantom comic coming out in news agencies all around Australia on this Thursday. It's coming out this Thursday. It is coming out this Thursday. And the latest Phantom comic will be coming out on the 29th of February, which is this Thursday. And coming up on this week's show. In the publisher news, we have something a bit different this week. Mad Cave Studios, the people that will be bringing a new Defenders of the Earth trade paperback. They're going to be bringing out a new Flash Gordon book for younger fans of Flash Gordon, which is awesome. We have a return of a very, very popular, you could say that's very, very popular segment. We have the return of Auction City. George Wilson original art is going to auction, and another, yes, and very, very special original Goodmark ring from the 1996 Phantom movie is going to auction over at Heritage Auctions. So get ready for all of that news in the Auction City. And we also have a very, very special bit to do with a very, very special luncheon called the Sideb Luncheon from 2024. We're going to have a look at that. We're going to be talking about it. And next up in this week's publisher news this week, we always like to drink on The Enthusiast. Not intentionally, but you get where I'm coming from. In the publisher news this week, Mad Cave Studios will be publishing a new Flash Gordon book for younger fans of the character. I am also hoping that Mad Cave Studios, right, so if Mad Cave Studios are going to be publishing a younger book for younger fans of a character called the Flash Gordon, which I don't know a lot about because I'm going to be showing something on the screen right now. Get ready for it. After I pull it out, obviously. Flash Gordon. And this character called the Flash Gordon will be appearing in a new book by Mad Cave Studios. And they are going to be publishing a new Flash Gordon book for younger fans of the character. And if there's younger fans out there, and maybe they like the Phantom, they might like Flash Gordon, then you can possibly check out Mad Cave Studios to see when they might be publishing this kind of book, because this is very, very special. Trying to be targeting a younger fan base, because characters like Flash Gordon, Mandrake the Magician, the Phantom, don't really, they aren't seen that much, and they aren't really targeted that much to like the younger audience and the younger demographic. Or like, I'm 22 and I read the Phantom. Like, normally a lot of people consider the Phantom as older people, an older demographic actually read the Phantom, when really a lot of publishers, few did this. They did this with Kid Phantom. They tried to introduce a younger audience to the Phantom for a Kid Phantom. And I think that Mad Cave Studios is doing a really, really good thing for Flash Gordon. And I'm hoping that Mad Cave Studios, if you're listening to this, Mad Cave Studios, I'm hoping that you might be able to make a book about the Phantom when he's a bit younger, and targeting a book about the Phantom to a younger audience. And say if it goes all right, maybe we might see more of these type of books targeted for a younger audience, and I think it's going to be very, very good. Obviously it's going to be very, very good for the stateability of the character, and hopefully if a younger audience and a younger person comes along and they like the Flash Gordon, or they like the Phantom, or they find another book on the Phantom, they may get addicted, as what I did, to be reading the Phantom and be having a big old collection that could last 40 to 50, 60 years. And you're thinking, oh, well, have I really used my time effectively? Yes, I have. Let's hope that a book for younger Phantom fans, and hoping that this new Flash Gordon book for younger fans works a treat, because I reckon this is a very, very good idea. It's a very, very good idea to be making sure that younger fans of the certain characters have the opportunity to go out there and get a book that's actually targeted to them to read Flash Gordon. I think it's an awesome idea, and I hope it goes really, really well. And you can now watch my show. Yes, we talked about the Flash Gordon. Now you can watch my show, The Enthusiast, on Anchor and Spotify. The Enthusiast, where the passion for the Phantom doesn't waver. New episodes weekly on Tuesdays, and I will also be putting a link to the podcast in the description down below. And this week we have the return of Auction City. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Yes, it's Auction City. We're entering Auction City. We're entering Auction City with a swap scheme. So over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of auctions happening. And this week, we saw that we are going to be seeing that George Wilson original Phantom art will be going to auction at Heritage Auctions. The context is that the cover art from the Gold Key the Phantom issue number 13, yes, I'm showing it up on the screen right now. This is going to auction. It is a gouache painting on illustration board and measures 22.25 by 26.25 inches, it's very, very large. It's very, very large. And the auction starts on the 15th of March this year at Heritage Auctions. We will be having a look at this. I will be following this auction. I'll be making sure I'm following this auction to see where it ends up and what the piece actually goes for. Now, hold up. There's that. Then there's another thing that is going to auction. And this is probably one of the biggest auction items that we may see this year to do with movies. And the original Goodmark ring from the 1996 Phantom movie will be going to auction at Heritage Auctions. Yes, Heritage Auctions are being very, very busy to do with Phantom fans. They've got a way more original art that has started going up for auction in the last couple of weeks. They're going to be having our original George Wilson Phantom art, and to top it all off, we have a Goodmark ring from the 1996 Phantom movie. Now, this ring isn't a replica. It's not a replica. It's not. Someone hasn't gone out and made a ring and then wanted to go and sell it at auction. No, this ring that I'm showing up on the screen right now is the actual ring that was used and originally worn by Billy Zane in the movie. So you get that, you get that, and it's going to auction. How good is this? Like, the auction is expected to end on the 24th of March. And there might even be more things going to auction throughout this year. So there's a lot to be excited for if you're a Phantom fan in 2024, and I am definitely very, very excited. Another thing that will be happening in roughly the time of this recording, it's the 24th of February, And another thing that will be happening in roughly 5 months is Supernova Sydney. How does this happen? How does this have anything to do with auctions? It doesn't, but Supernova Sydney is happening in 5 months' time in June. And I am very, very excited to be going to Supernova Sydney. And I think the first time that I actually went to Supernova Sydney, everyone knows this, but first time I went to Supernova Sydney, just to say that I went in it in 2017, and I can't wait for it. Every year I get very, very excited for it, and it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome, even if I've already been there already. And each year I get even as excited as I went there the first time around. It gets exciting. I'm thinking of dressing up as something special. Yeah, look, last year I dressed up, I think, as Mr. Walker. You saw him a couple of weeks ago on the channel, and I might be doing something even special than that. So yeah, I think I'm going to be going to Supernova Sydney. Obviously, Chronicle Chamber put out a post like just to do with the info of what might be happening in Supernova Sydney. Obviously, not much information has come out yet, but they know that there's going to be at the dinner, especially there's going to be a guest called, a guest that is pretty much working on the Phantom video game. Yes, Ash Table Nichols is going to be at the dinner, and it's going to be so awesome. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for Supernova Sydney. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, on a lighter note, we have Sideb Lunch in for 2024. In the past week or so, you may have seen on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you may have seen on Facebook that the yearly Sideb Lunch-In New York was on. And from all accounts on the night, it was a really great night for everyone that was there. Like, I was seeing photos throughout this past week, and it just looks like a fun night. Like, a lot of people don't understand this, but you have to be invited. You just can't turn up as a random and expect to be given an invitation. You've actually got to be invited. And obviously, I haven't been to the dinner yet, and I haven't been to New York City. Like, imagine me going to New York City. A guy that's just came out of the country, a guy that's just came out of the Australian outback, out of a small country town. I rock up at Manhattan, and look at, what are all these people doing here? What are all these people doing here? Like, imagine me being in New York City. I would be so out of place. Like, you don't, like, I've been over to America at one stage, then I went over to around California, and you seriously do not see many people wearing RM shirts. Like, it's RMs are just literally, they've got to be an Aussie thing. They've got to be an Australian thing. Yeah, obviously they're made in Australia, but like, you don't see RMs over there. So imagine me with my RM shirt on over in New York City and saying, he's an Aussie. He's got an RM shirt on. But imagine a 22-year-old in New York City. Oh, that would be a disaster. Watch out, look out. Yeah, look out. Because I was seeing some photos, as I said, I was seeing some photos on Facebook, and it really looked like a great night. And obviously I've said that it's not a convention. This type of dinner isn't a convention. You have to be invited to it. And it actually looks like a really, really good night. So for all the people that went to the dinner, I hope you've had a very, very fantastic night. And I hope that Sideb is doing all right. He's looking all right. I was looking at the photos this in the past week, and he actually looks pretty good. And yeah, I hope he's still okay. And if you're watching this, thank you for watching The Enthusiast, and let's carry on. And you can now get 14% off all things Homer's Press with the code Enthusiast 2022, all in one word. Whether you are looking for something new to read on an afternoon's hard working day, or you're just sitting back, you're relaxing on a cold Sunday afternoon in the winter, and you're just relaxing back, and you have a phantom comic going like this, and you want to be able to be relaxing all the goddamn time, and you're wanting to be reading the latest Phantom comic. Well, you are installed. You aren't just installed. You can now get 14% off by using, as I said, the code Enthusiast in 2022, all in one word. And there's always something for you to find at Homer's Press, whether you're young like me or whether you're an older demographic. There's always something for you to find at Homer's Press. I apologize for anyone that was offended by that older demographic comment. And who is your favorite Phantom artist, past or present? My all-time favorite, my number one favorite Phantom artist has to be Antonio Lemos. I love his work. I can't get enough of his work. I love his work, and I first saw his work in 2016 when I was first starting to collect the Phantom comics, and it was just starting to get out of control. And yeah, I love his work. I talked about his work a couple of weeks ago, but I ran into him last year at a dinner, and he's just such a good bloke. He's just such a good bloke. I've also interviewed him, which is even better. And so yeah, that's my number one favorite Phantom artist probably on the planet right now. That is Antonio Lemos. And if you enjoy Phantom Cave reviews, then subscribe to see more great videos like this. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, and please don't be hard done by the older demographic comment, because it's all for fun and games until someone gets harmed. Someone gets hurt. Good old front bar. Bye. Until next week. Bye.